Hi everyone, Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today I'm doing something slightly different because I'm actually doing a scrapbook page, which is a 12 by page 12 scrapbook layout. So I've got some of the new releases from Kinder Creations, which is a Australian stencil chipboard company who do some great designs, and they came with these pieces. Now I used to scrapbook lots. I haven't done in a long time. When I used to scrapbook, thought, oh, it'd be great to have kids because I'd scrapbook all the time, and now I've got kids, I just haven't done it. But when I was Woolies the other day, the kids got these beautiful pumpkin hats that kept them amused for hours. So as soon as I saw those and I saw what was in the box, I thought, yep, I know what I can do with those. So I'm starting out with a large wreath, which has got pumpkins and bats on them. And I'm just covering it with orange paint. Now, I forgot the golden rule with chipboard is it does help, especially if you're using lighter colours, to gesso the chipboard first, or get a white base down and then put the colour over the top. If you're using inks, use a white ink pad over the bottom and then stick the colour over the top once it's dried, obviously. And you can see just the difference of putting the orange on once it's got the white on beforehand. Because chipboard is by nature absorbent, it's compressed cardboard, it is going to soak the paint up and it gives it that sort of colour of the cardboard. It works in some cases, but if you want a really true bright colour, I suggest putting a layer of white down first. So I was doing that on just a piece of white paper. The reason I did it on that was I wanted to have another background for a page. A lot of this stuff is very mixed media based with what I'm doing, and so things get used lots and lots. So to begin with, I started with the black and I drew out the center because I knew I needed that cut out to make a frame. And now I've just glued it down. The glue that I've used is acid free and it will dry clear. It takes a little while to dry though, so I've just set that aside to dry. Now this is something I haven't done before, and I've now wondered why I've never done it before. I've been using a lot of printer paper to print out collage printables, and I found, sticker paper, and I decided that I would use the sticker paper to do this, mainly because my photo printer has run out of ink and it wasn't printing properly. And it was a total game changer, particularly for this type of multiple photo layout. It was just so much easier to do, and the quality of the printing really wasn't, you know, any different. Yes, obviously it's a little bit more crisp if you get it printed professionally, but for what I'm going to use and for the kid, because this will go up in the kids' bedroom, they loved it. I'm happy for them to put their fingers all over this, and because it's on the matte printer paper, it's actually probably a little bit more durable than if I'd used proper photos. So all I'm doing is just trimming them down and trying them out, and having the frame there so I can sort of try things out and see how they go was really, really helpful. So there's just a lot of fiddling at this stage, and as scrapbookers would know, it's all about getting the right photo in the right place at the right time. So as I was doing it, I decided I was going to fussy cut around them, and I'm really glad I chose to do that. Now, one of the, again, advantages of using the sticker paper is, one of the things I used to hate about fussy cutting around photos when I used proper photos or printed out in photo paper was because it's slightly thicker, you'd always have a white edge. So I'd always go around it with a black or a grey pen just to hide that cut edge. And invariably I would get black pen somewhere on the photo. Because the sticker paper is so thin, you avoid that, and it makes everything look seamless when it's actually all glued down or all stuck down together. I didn't have to do anything to it, it all blended in together really, really easily. The other thing I really liked about it was when I usually try to stick down photos, I've got stuff moving all the time. So by sticking down just straight down with the sticker paper, it made it so much easier. So I've just used the frame again and drawn around it just to give me an idea of where I'm sticking everything, and making sure it's slightly off center, and I wanted it like that just to balance it up a little bit. And you can see I've got the big black frame there. That is going to get trimmed down slightly, so don't think that's what it's going to look like on the end page. So again, just going through, the sticker paper I'm using is a Unistat multi-purpose labels, and they're A4 label, so they're just one full sheet of sticker paper. And as I said before, I'm using them a lot for my collage printables, so they're in my printer an awful lot. And I've just got a usual laser printer, but the colours come up really, really bright, which I'm really happy about. So with the frame now, all I'm doing is tearing around the edge just to give that black border. I really love having torn edges on paper. If I can get away with not using a pair of scissors, I will. I just used the carved pumpkin in the Distress Oxides to ink up the edges, just to bring that orange into it and into the background. The background paper, I think, is a very old Daisy D paper. I don't even know if that company is still operating. And looking at this on screen now, there was actually enough contrast with the heading and the background, but when I was doing this, the night I was doing this, I couldn't see enough contrast. It looked very orange on orange, and I really struggled to see the difference. So what I chose to do is get my Stabilo oil pencil out and use the inside of the where the laser cut came from, and just put a shadow around. So I'm just inking up the Stabilo oil pencil, because it's a water soluble pencil, just to give a little bit of a shadow behind, and that sort of ties in with the orange and black that you get of the frame as well. And then just gluing it down. So this is pretty much sort of the finished piece. Just adding some journaling and some flare dots to this as well. But I was really happy with sort of how it all balanced together. So these are the little flare buttons that come from Kinder Creations as well. I'm just using some little foam stickers to place them up a little bit, and they sort of tie in with the whole theme. And then I've got a very old, I forgot I did stenciling. So I'm using the Kinder Creations stencil, just with a very light application of black ink, and going over the background. Again, just playing on that sort of black and orange combination, and just giving something subtle in the background. You've got the stripes, but breaking it up a little bit with the cobwebs, and it kind of all ties it in together. So this is just a very old stamp I've got for some journaling, just to put some lines on. If I'd been brave, I would have just drawn the lines on myself, and as you can see, I'm just extending them out anyway. And in my very messy handwriting, I'm just doing a bit of journaling about, you know, how amazing that 2 really cheap paper hats from the local supermarket can keep kids amused for hours on end. As you can see, Big Sister was having fun pushing it over the eyes of the little sister, and she was busy laughing her head off at it. She thought it was the funniest thing ever. So this is the finished piece. I love how it all tied together. I love how the Kinder Creations bits and pieces all tied together, and I love that I was able to use sticker paper in a new application in my scrapbooking. I hope this is really helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for another mixed media piece later on today. Thanks for watching. Bye.